Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a great Monday. I'm KNWA and Fox 24 Chief Meteorologist Dan Skoff, and it was nice to see the sunshine this afternoon, help with the melting process a little bit. We have another winter weather system on the way for Tuesday. I'm going to get to that forecast in just a bit, but behind me, KNWA-TV Tevin from the University of Arkansas. He's answering emails and also saving a lot of the pictures that you sent, and I appreciate that on Facebook and Twitter. Let's get to the forecast, shall we? We got a system moving in, and it's going to bring a mixture of sleet, freezing rain, and snow. So what is the threat? Here's our 4 W's again. We have more winter weather coming this week. It includes multiple rounds of severe weather, or multiple rounds of severe winter weather. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow looks likely with this system tomorrow. We will see significant wintry precip throughout the entire week. Some systems will be a little stronger than others. So we talk about the 1, 2, 3 punch. Well, we had the first punch, really, I guess you could say, with round 1 on Sunday, yesterday. Let's talk about this week, though, the 1, 2, 3 punch. So in round 2, the first punch comes early Tuesday morning. We get a little jab on Thursday, and then it looks like a third blow. I'm going to call it a body blow over the weekend. I think a lot of you are sick and tired of the snow, ready for springtime. It is not going to feel like spring, and it's going to be extremely cold this week as well. Wind chills will be well below 0. Get ready, here it comes. So where will this system hit? Well, on Tuesday, it's going to be a wintry mix of freezing rain changing over to rain in the river valley. Whereas in northwest Arkansas, we'll start off with a little bit of a period of freezing rain transitioning to sleet and then snow. Some of the later computer models coming out saying we could see a little more snow than a wintry mix. And if that's the case, our snow accumulation totals will need to be increased. So why is all this occurring? Well, you'll see on the satellite and radar as well as the water vapor, we've got a large low moving in tonight. We've got an Arctic blast that's going to follow the system throughout the middle to the end of the week. And then the reason all these systems are just parading into northwest Arkansas, it's because of our big time pattern change and the zonal jet stream flow. So first of all, what's interesting is now they have expanded the winter weather advisories, and I think northwest Arkansas will be included in this as well, probably by the time you see this recording. But as you'll notice, winter weather advisory is now issued for Delaware County. It also is including southwest Missouri. Give you the latest. This goes from midnight tonight until about 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Also, southwest Missouri, Berry and McDonald County from 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. Wednesday. So I think the timing of these winter weather advisories will be refined, and if it becomes a little bit more certain that our snow accumulations will be more than expected, we could be seeing one of those winter storm warnings very quickly issued for the area. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened with this system. So high clouds are moving in. You can see that off to the west, and this is abundant thick cloud cover. It's going to move in tonight. Now, those clouds are actually going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to keep us a little bit warmer overnight tonight instead of falling down to below 0 and in the mid-single digits like we had this morning, which, by the way, was not predicted well by all of the computer models because a snowpack really doesn't get accounted for as far as a computer model forecast. So that's why we went with single digits for morning lows. We actually hit -3 below 0 this morning at Drake Field. Zooming out a little more, you can start to see this big-time weather system, a very large low. It's a significant low. The track now is becoming a little bit more certain now that it has made it onshore, and you can see it in southern Arizona, a very, very large low-pressure system, lots of moisture, lots of lift with it. However, this will not be an all-snow event, and the reason for that is we are getting warm, moist inflow coming in from the south, and that's exactly what that's going to do, is that's going to prevent that snow from falling all the way from the sky all the way down to the ground. So looking off to the west, we've got an active weather week, and you can see all these low-pressure systems, and because of the jet stream flow, these systems are literally going to move across the eastern Pacific and then dive back along the western coast of the United States. So that's exactly why we're expecting active weather. So looking again, that low pressure system now just entering south of the Four Corners region. It is going to track in an east-northeasterly direction. And what does that mean? Well, that's not as favorable for a heavy snow track, but if the temperature profiles are a little bit colder than expected, we could see more snow. Obviously, this is going to be a long webcast. We're already at 5 minutes, but there's just so much to talk about. So temperatures now are way colder than what the model said. They said we would be in the mid-40s. Instead, we're in the middle to upper 30s. Now, we did see some sunshine help with the melting process. However, we are going to see temperatures continue to drop, not as much tonight because of those clouds. As we look at the future track, it finally caught up with this, upper 30s at 3 o'clock. Now watch what happens overnight tonight. Big band of snow develops between 10 to midnight. That will be focused off to our northwest in Delaware County and northeast Oklahoma. Moving throughout the day, it's going to be mainly all snow, and this is one thing that is certain. It's going to be all snow to the north and west of I-44. And then as we move along in time, you'll notice that we start to get winter precipitation moving into northwest Arkansas. Personally, I think this is a little too slow. When these strong systems come in, they're a little bit more dynamic than expected. They create a little extra lift. So I think around 5 o'clock in the morning will be our first round of winter precipitation moving in. It could be even earlier than that. But at 7 o'clock in the morning, there it is, a mixture of mainly freezing rain with a little bit of sleet. Then you have some rain and freezing rain in the river valley. Now watch these temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. That is going to be cold enough for that freezing rain to accumulate on elevated surfaces. Snow starts moving in. We tick away the time, and the temperatures in the mid-levels start to cool below freezing. So this is a change from yesterday. The future track was not showing much as far as snowfall across the area, but now with a colder temperature profile, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a bit, we are expecting more snow. In the river valley, we're looking at freezing rain now. This rain line, as you will see, working its way from south to north, will lift northward and move into northwest Arkansas, and I do believe that. And watch those temperatures start to climb a little more, but some places will remain, even though the warm air is moving in, will remain all above freezing. Final thing that I want to point out is that we have what's called a dry punch. This is a layer of dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and that is going to cut off the precipitation until we get what's called wraparound precipitation, and wraparound is on the backside of that low pressure system. As far as snow totals, again, this is a computer model, but we're going to start off with the ice accumulation. Ice accumulation at the moment does not look significant enough to cause power outages. We're talking a little less than 0.05 of an inch in northwest Arkansas, and only about 1/10 of an inch in the river valley. Now, if those temperature profiles warm up a little more in the mid-levels, cool off in the low levels, then we could have more freezing rain accumulation. I do want to say that this forecast is still a little bit uncertain. Throughout the day on Tuesday, when the snow starts, really late morning into the afternoon, you can see it get going. We're talking a little over 2 inches, about 1 inch in Fayetteville. After it's all said and done, just about 1 inch in Fayetteville with 3.5 inches in Rogers. Now, this is just a computer model. It is more certain the farther north and west you go, but in northwest Arkansas, those totals could be lessened significantly with that warm mid-layer of air. And just to show you what I'm talking about, on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, we had a system where we saw all snow in northwest Arkansas. The reason for that is the cold air was deep enough all the way from the ground up to the top of the atmosphere. That is basically textbook for an all-snow event. What we see tomorrow, though, as that big weather system moves in, it's going to bring in very warm air that is above freezing in the mid-levels. And sometimes this warm air is underpredicted by the computer model. So all precipitation starts off as snow aloft, but as it enters into that warm layer of air above freezing, it will melt, and that is rain. And that's where we're going to see rain in southern sections of the Ouachitas, as well as McCurtain County, southeastern Oklahoma, possibly a little bit of freezing rain mixed in, but not a major weather event the farther south you go. When you work your way northward, that's where you get that cold wedge of air. You could see some freezing rain. That is frozen precipitation that falls through the warm air and melts into rain. and then it will refreeze on elevated surfaces. That will take place in northwest Arkansas initially, but as the cold air continues to pour in, get a little bit deeper, you get evaporative cooling in the mid-levels. All of these things play an influence on how that thermodynamic profile sets up, and that's exactly what we're talking about from the ground all the way up. That is what we're talking about with a thermodynamic profile. So sleet is when that cold air at the surface gets a little bit deeper. You have the frozen precipitation. It falls through that warm layer of air. It melts into rain, and then the cold air is deep enough where that raindrop will refreeze as a solid ice pellet. We